I'm Asher.
And I'm Tasin Zaman. Okay, so what will be discussed to our project? At first, we'll talk about the brief history of VR, then we'll talk about the evolution of the art form itself and the propagation of the art form, and also the societal implications. Next slide. So let's talk about what is virtual reality. So nowadays, like we all know about like virtual reality, it's really popular and common thing. So it's basically an like immersive technology that creates like a simulated experience, making you feel like you're present in that moment. And like VR system can have like different features, but they all use special lenses to adjust how image appear, like convincing your eyes to make them feel like they're real. Also, like it's often paired with sound with 3D audios. Okay, now let's talk about the background of VR. So virtual reality is one of the like transformative like technologies of like 21st century. So before that, like the virtual how does it begin? So like virtual reality began in the mid 20th century with early experiment in like immersive experience. So the first the most first invention was named as Sensorama was developed by Morton Hilling in the 1950. This machine was incredibly like advanced and like it's combining the visual and sound really well. So the one unit like approximately cost like $60,000, and in the picture you can see a person is using Sensorma, and like you see how it's like evolving and changing like as it got smaller nowadays. Yeah.
So, um, we summed it up more in our paper, but basically, as VR progressed, a lot of things changed. So, within legacy VR, basically the older systems, we just talked about the Sensorama. There's also the Virtual Boy, and then there's some arcade virtual reality systems. They had the problem of high cost, right? We talked about the Sensorama costing $60,000, so it's not very consumer friendly. The technology is limited, so um, refresh rate, audio quality, visual quality, it's not very good. So the actual immersive aspect of it isn't as it's not as immersive, so it's not going to be as usable. And then the biggest point, the most important point that pertains, oh, sorry, the most important point that pertains to our presentation is that it didn't have open source. So basically nowadays with the new VR systems, they're completely open, software wise and even hardware wise, to where anyone from any background, as long as you have a little bit of coding experience or software experience, you can make any kind of experience. And then we have the modern virtual realities as we described. So they're consumer friendly. They have, costs that anyone can achieve. As we discussed, there's open source software. And one other pretty important thing pertinent to dance is the 3D tracking and audio technology, which is definitely much newer. These are some examples. So you have the first developer prototype of the Oculus Rift from way back in 2016. Um, you also have so that's actually a more of a gaming peripheral. But then you have the Google Cardboard, which this is also pretty old. It's from 2013. It allowed you to just take your phone, slide it into this cardboard peripheral, and there you go. You have a VR device. And this was obviously incredibly cheap and accessible. And then the third example we have here is the HTC Vive Tracker, which was from 2018. And this is an example of the advancing technology regarding tracking. So something like full body tracking, which is very important for dance in a lot of these applications that we're going to talk about. So the second part of our project here, the presentation, we want to talk about the evolution of dance itself due to VR, the most direct changes uh, to dance. And the first point we want to bring up is emotional expression. So immersive technologies, and this includes, it's not just VR, but it includes AR, a lot of the other things we discussed in lecture, but immersive technologies allow for an unprecedented heightening of emotions within the art form of dance, which we're going to show some examples of that. Um, Another big thing that was affected is precision dance, like for example, like ballet, something more competitive. Full body tracking and VR in general allows for training tools, which should help uh, dancers hone their skills much easier than before.
Oh, oh,
Oh, my bad.
so for this slide, we're gonna talk about like how VR is creating like closer emotion with the audience. Like so, like we know that like virtual realities can allow audience to be involved in the present moment, as we talk about. Like for example, like they can be in their home and they can be anywhere they want while experiencing the moment by wearing the headset and moving around with it and also enjoying the 360-degree view. And by the use of VR and other technology, it builds like a stronger emotional audience, like connection with the audience and also with the dancer. So like people can watch the performance in many ways through the technology. So they can feel the moment by not being present in there. So it also like conveys emotion and tell a story that the audience can relate to it by watching the video and make like a lot of connection. Basically, it like brings more closer to the audience and the performer. It creates a really unique experience for both of them. Yeah. Next.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note, um, the emotional expression aspect, um, there's this example we have called VR Dust. It's basically this whole um, dance experience that was made for VR. I don't think we'll have time to show this off, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. And then there's this other thing called VR Dance Academy. So this is an example of the precision dance point that was made earlier. We have this thing called VR Dance Academy, which within this software called VR Chat, this community built this thing, this virtual studio to teach people how to dance. It's virtual lessons basically. And again, for the sake of time, we're just going to move on. So the next point, I'll let Tasin take this one actually.
Okay, so this is the propagation of dance due to VR. So in here we'll talk about like the interplay of technology with the VR and also like the social media impact of VR, like how is like the VR interacting with like social media and also like the broader demographic of like VR with the
So the first point about this is interplay of technology. There was this study, this report called Tech as Art, and basically it was a study that examined the state of artists who are tech-centered, artists who use technology in their career, and how they're doing within like I believe the couple of years that this study was going on for. And there's a lot of findings, a lot of interesting things, some very important things regarding the struggles that tech-related artists face. But there were also some things that were pretty related to the VR dance discussion in our presentation. So one of the points was that tech-savvy artists have better career resources, including organizations and community hubs. Another point is that tech-savvy artists expand traditional art by pushing the boundaries. So this is basically tying into the evolution of art itself, the first point of this presentation that we talked about. And then lastly, the interplay of they basically prove that the interplay of disciplines, all the um all the different types of technology, um, whether it be coding, like software related stuff, all of these different disciplines of technology allow for a broadening of demographics. And as Tazeen is going to discuss, a good example is social media.
okay. So in here like we're gonna talk about like how VR changes dance through the social media. So first of all, like it creates like a new dance experience. So like like people can take like virtual dance classes by staying at home by using the VR, and also they can watch like live performance as you're there, so you can be like you can feel like you're present in there. Also, another advantage is like you can like connect and learn. So you can like join the virtual dance group and practice with other people through online. And also it's like it creates a worldwide access to use VR to see dance move from all angles. So it helps you to analyze the dance step more like carefully and closely. So it's very important to see like your feedback, like see all the thing that you can do. And also you can share easily so like let's say you can post VR dances on and videos on Instagram, TikTok, or any other social media platform to inspire others who use this technology. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk more about the social media and like how it's creating like more opportunities. So like first point we're gonna say is like it creates like more career opportunities, also like new dance trends, and it also have like impact on the choreography. For example, through social media, like dancer can like interact with like a professional and gain more popularity by getting viral or and develop their career from it, because like some people like making career by like posting video on there, so it like creates a like, and once they get viral they can like make money out of it, like so it's creating like new career opportunities for them. Also through social media, like the new dance trends, like people like nowadays we can see like in TikTok, YouTube, and social media, like people are creating like a viral new like short clips and dance are gaining like popularity like through TikToks and Reel, which has increased the spread of like choreography and trends, allowing like other aspiring dancers a new way to show their talent through a short video clip. Also, for the impact of the choreography, the social media changed their work to create like visually attractive and easy dance to learn. Like professionals in music videos has also been impacted by this. It has been a huge like game-changing moment for the dance community and overall, yeah. Next slide. Oh, so in this slide, so basically, we pasted like the thing that we made for our assignment tools. Basically, we made it like a multimedia like picture which shows like the social medias and technology's impact on like dance. So like each like picture shows like a different like emotion and different stories like that we created for like assignment two.
So, the last point regarding the propagation of dance due to VR is broader demographics. So we just talked about the interplay of technology, and one of them being the most important being social media, obviously. And we're now going to talk about how that has actually manifested in an effect on dance itself. So historically, as we know, the art form has been dominated by specific demographics. So one example would be the statistic we found that dance has been historically dominated 78% female. So one example of VR and other related technologies pushing dance to more demographics would be the gaming community. Um, Earlier, we gave the example of this VR community for teaching dance within the software called VR Chat. That's an example of that. We're going to talk about another game later in the presentation called Beat Saber. But basically, the gaming community is known to be a mostly male-dominated um, demographic, and this is an example of another demographic being involved with dance as a result of the VR technology.
Oh, okay. So in here we will talk about like the social implication of dance from VR. Okay, so next. So so VR expand like dance accessibility, like so like dance is now easily accessible to worldwide and audience because of the technology. So like audience from all around the world can see performance through the technology of VR. People are capturing like videos and posting it online, which is making the dance go viral, and also like making more people can see it even if they're unable to attend in person. So as you can see in like in the picture, like it A woman is using headset by VR by staying in her house and like being able to present in that moment. Next slide. Yeah, also like VR is having a great impact for the people with the disabilities. Like it's helping like people with the disabilities. So the method that people with disability can experience with and interact with dance has completely changed due to the VR. Like it is like promoting accessibility through allowing those who might have difficulty attending dance classes. So let's say, for example, the Royal Opera House developed like VR experience so that more people can join without having physical limitations. So in addition to that, like the VR games like Beat Saber, like guarantees that like people with disabilities may still take part of this game. So basically, like VR is like having a like great impact like with the people of disability. Like it's like uh, yeah, game changer. It's like a game changer for like the peoples with the disabilities. Yeah. So in this slide, do you want to play the video a little bit? So I think they cannot hear it. So basically, like this video shows like how Beat Saber can be made easier for people with the disabilities. Like as you can see, this guy's wearing this thing. Like it makes it easier for him to like play the games and controlling with the motion and everything. Like it have the option with the one-handed play. Let's say if you don't have two hand, like you can use like one hand to play while sitting down and changing the difficulties of the game. It makes the overall experience easier for you. Also, there is like a custom tools and vibrations, so which helps people to enjoy the game even more better, even by having the disabilities. As you can see, this person is having a great experience like playing this game while having the disability, and also it can be used in therapy to improve like the movement skills. So it can be used in like so many places, and it's actually one of the great. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, thank you guys, yeah, for listening.
And then
And
here's the references.